Morning.
Morning.
Well, we've got a right treat for you now. We're in the kitchen with Meliz Berg. Meliz, what delicious dish are you cooking for us?
We are making yanyana tavası, which is, well, it means, yanyana means beside each other or next to each other, and it's a tray bake where all the ingredients sit beside each other. So we're going to start off with the main ingredient, which is the lamb, which goes in the centre of the pan. I've got a lovely marinade that starts off with some sweet red pepper paste, which we don't actually have here, so we're going to wing it. We've got some milk as well in there, and the milk helps to tenderise lamb.
Milk?
So, yes, so when I'm making like lamb kebabs or shish kebabs that I put on the barbecue, I use milk as a tenderiser. So if I'm using chicken, which you can also use in this dish, like chicken thigh fillets, I'd use yoghurt. But with lamb, milk is the main one. So I've got in here, other than the milk and the olive oil and the sweet red pepper paste, which would usually go in as well, I've got dried mint, oregano, smoked paprika, and biber. And that all gets kind of whizzed up together.
Don't you
like
have
this.
great names for your dishes?
Yeah.
Side by side. What is that?
Yanyana.
Oh, lovely.
Going back to the milk, Meliz, would you ever use goat's milk to do that?
So I think goat's milk is, I've got a bit of an aversion to it just because I find it quite strong.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can use a non-dairy milk. So it's absolutely fine. Anything that's going to kind of ever so slightly break down the fibres, and I'm going to get really stuck in here.
Yeah.
Break down the fibres of the meat without kind of completely collapsing them or making it too tough is absolutely fine to use. So you've got to really get in there with this.
You've got a bit of fat in there as well.
I've got a bit of the, yeah, absolutely, a bit of fat. And this is lamb shoulder. So a nice fatty bit of kind of meat is great. And this needs to marinate in the fridge for a minimum of about 4 hours, really, at least. If you can leave it overnight, then great. No longer than 24, and that's absolutely fine. And that will, obviously, I would leave that to marinate, but we're going to chuck everything else into the pan. In fact, you can both help me with this bit. So that goes in.
Do we get to
like
squish
that.
things?
Well, I wouldn't squish it with your hands, but this yanyana, side by side, we want everything to kind of go in side by side. And while you do that, so nice and pretty. I'm going to get really kind of bossy here because I want it to look really nice. So all alongside. And then we'll brush those vegetables with some oil.
All of them going in?
All of them go in. And in fact, what I would have done, actually, once the lamb comes out of the fridge and it's been marinated, you then season it with salt and pepper. So if you season it too early with salt, it can turn the meat quite tough. So season it afterwards. So I would obviously mix that in there and then keep adding all those lovely vegetables in.
Joyce.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
These as well, tomatoes?
Everything.
Oh, does it matter? Does it matter what lives beside what?
No, it really doesn't matter what lives beside what. It just all needs to go in.
It's the beauty of yanyana, I always say.
And yanyana needs to be served with some beautiful soft flatbreads, and I'm going to show you while you prep that.
Do you want green or red?
That's it, isn't it, Meliz?
And the courgettes.
And the courgettes.
Oh, we're going
shove it all in.
Shove it all in.
Right.
Look at these lovely. We're going to make some of these now as well, so you can help me with those. Once that all goes
Josie, you're messy. Get it all in a nice...
Come on, guys, we need to get it in the oven.
Right, get it in the oven.
Pop it in the oven.
Right, pop that in the oven for you.
A few of those.
There's no space.
There is. We'll chuck those in. Don't be afraid. Chuck them in. It's all good. And we need some bay leaves. Where are the bay leaves?
Bay leaves.
Are they in there?
Oh, they're
Chuck them in already
And
with
garlic.
something else.
It's all good. Don't worry. Listen, this is why it's yanyana. It's totally chilled. We want it to go in. We want it to go in the oven. Bit of this, bit of that, bish, bash, bosh, chuck it all over.
Lovely.
There's no fuss. It should be showing oregano, salt, pepper, oil. And then, you're right there holding that, Craig.
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
Brilliant. Then we're going to cover it. And then we're going to cover it again. And that just keeps the steam kind of running through so that it doesn't dry out. And then that goes into the oven at 180C fan. And I'm going to take the other one out in a second. And we're going to chuck that in. And I'll take the other one out in a second. And these lovely flatbreads here, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to roll one, but I'll try and roll one out for you here. These lovely flatbreads, if you just open those up.
OK, Josie,
There,
do that.
take that.
Shall I? I'll get rid of that. You do your... I'll be your
We'll roll
assistant.
that up, and in fact, while I roll that, you get those
they're nice and
lovely
thin.
flatbreads ready.
I would better wash my own hands here. Hang on.
Lovely and thin flatbread.
Really thin and really lovely. And they need to be served alongside, obviously, the yanyana.
Do you know how to dry your hands? You wipe them in the back of your trousers.
And once that's been in the oven for about an hour, you take off the foil, like this. And in fact, I'm going to serve you one from the back.
Do you want me to start rolling this for you? That's a fun thing.
Start rolling that.
Hands first?
And then, yep. Keep rolling. Oh, no, you've got to...
Oh, rolling pin. All right.
And then we use the juices to baste this lovely lamb here. We've got that going there. Baste that under. And then that will go back into the oven, obviously in usual style. Good rolling, Craig.
You're welcome.
I'm going to serve you some here so you can actually have.
Look at
your
this.
Beautiful, because I want you to actually try this while I've got you working.
So it all shrinks down, really. So don't worry about putting too much in the pan.
No, because look, it goes back into the oven.
Oh, look at that.
Uncovered. So that you get this gorgeous, and I really want you to have a go at that, and then you dip your bread in. Look at
How's that? Pan?
Pop it in the pan. That can rise up. Well done. Amazing.
Right, let's have a little go on this then, Meliz.
It's beautiful.
Right.
Juices in there. You can have it with a bit of yoghurt, which cools it down. I mean, it's pretty effortless. It's a lot to do in 6 minutes.
What are we waiting for it to happen here?
Bubble, bubble, bubble.
Yeah, we like
Toilet
bubbles.
Shovel.
Good bubbles.
Flip it over nice and quick. Excellent. And then that's a nice, soft, puffy one. And the thinner you roll them, as you can see, they get really nice. And you can just, and the trick, I'll show you, shove it in there.
Oh, like
Shove it in there, give it all a rub in all those lovely juices, and with more of those
And then you
juices.
just grab it all up, do you?
Yeah, and you can just mop it all up, and it's absolutely delicious.
Beautiful.
That
There you go, yanyana tabası.
You know you're going to get fed well when Meliz is in. That was gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Brilliant stuff. For details of today's recipe, check out our free This Morning app.